Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Good morning.
to FYI.
Welcome,
For your
guys.
information,
Yep.
I'm Gerard Finance alongside
Yeah, she
Sharon
is.
Duncan this
She
morning.
is.
It is the 23rd of June, 2022. Lovely, lovely Thursday morning, everyone.
And happy birthday to Jurita.
Oh,
It's
thank
Jurita's
you.
birthday, believe it or not.
23rd of June.
It's Jurita's
23rd of
birthday.
June.
It's that kind of day she's having.
The
Believe it or
birthday
not.
day. Oh my
It's a birthday
goodness.
day.
Check that out.
It's just, yeah, take that. It's a birthday day, folks. It's Jurita's birthday, and she's happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. How old are you? That's our favorite part, folks. Happy
Listen,
birthday, Jurita. Happy
Sharon,
birthday.
you always got something.
Happy
You got to
birthday.
fall back. You
Always
got
gotta fall back.
You
As
have
a boy
to
with
fall
things.
back. Thank you so
Boy,
much.
it's happy birthday.
Thank you
How
so
you
much.
doing?
You
How you
heard
feeling?
those notes, right? You heard those notes.
How
on
you doing?
Sharon.
How you feeling? Dave Joel says you look very beautiful in your birthday.
Oh, lovely.
Take
Thank
the
you.
feel.
Thank
That-
you.
Take that.
I intended to have a little different. I see Warren Figueroa saying happy birthday. Thank you, Warren.
Oh yeah.
Today, Warren is celebrating his 32nd wedding
Oh shucks.
anniversary.
Warren, just send me the book. I need it. I need it, Warren.
Happy
Please.
anniversary.
Please,
to you and your
Warren.
lovely
I'm begging
wife.
you. Send me the book, Warren. We need
Best
the book.
wishes.
Warren, we need the book. We need the book. Send me the book. I need the book. I need the book. I need the book, Warren. Please. I'm begging. Sweetest birthday, folks. And
What are
she
you doing for
is.
this
As
birthday?
no Anthony. How old are
I
you
feel
now?
I don't feel the age creeping up. I don't know when it happens. You know, I think people say that our age creep up.
We can go by the GRO.
I don't know when it happens, but I'm not feeling it right now. I
Mhm.
can say that much. I'm not feeling the age creeping up. I look at myself in the mirror
Mhm.
this morning. So is this how you're supposed to look at this age?
Mhm.
What age is that?
You're thankful.
But
Go on.
I don't know. I don't know if
coming
that's
along
how
nice.
I'm supposed to be looking. But I mean, I'm just out of 16, so
You're right there.
I'm
You're
right
right
there,
there.
right there,
Right there.
just
I'm
out of
happy.
16. You see, Warren's age is just a number.
Yes, that's what
Of
Sparrow
course,
says.
of
Ability
course.
lasts a long time.
Oh my
That's what he
goodness!
says.
But
you know? When you
it
get older,
has
you remember
been.
these things.
But when you reflect, I have to say that when you reflect on when I reflected on the past year of my life, you know, it has been quite different. Quite different.
I thought you said you weren't going to be reflective.
I did do
You
it
did?
this morning.
Okay.
Yes, I did do it this morning. It was quite different from prior because I remember last year around this time, you know, the decisions that I've made between my last birthday and now is very different. Especially when it comes to my personal life. Before I was a little more.
Go right ahead.
I was a little less patient.
I'm going to interrupt.
I was a little less patient and all of those things, but now I think I have I'm slowly still maturing to get to that level of having patience and all of those things.
Dolores Dover says you look golden.
Oh, lovely.
Saw that comment running back there. Dolores says you look golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to change my look. So
Anja Nicholson says you're between 32 and 35.
Oh my goodness.
See, Anja?
Maybe a good guess. Maybe
not. maybe not.
Sure knew it was coming.
And Kurds, good to see you guys.
Candy reach in the house this morning.
I reach.
Candy reach this morning. Pace and Power, Andrew Cosberg, Cosberg don't finish, you know. Marine, thank you so much, Marine, and Magnell and all of you guys out there. It's going to be a good day. I think it's going to be a good day. You know, I had a crazy dream last night. I woke up. I dream sometimes. I just did not want to dream. Listen,
I want to hear.
I woke this morning very upset, to say the least. I had a horrible dream. What is that supposed to mean? I'm
Maybe had a second term. And that's as bad as you get. I don't know.
Horrible dream. I kid you not. Goodness. So thank you, Kylo Tech. Thank you there so much. But I had this horrible dream. You know, some people you just want to like lock out of your head and your life, and or this particular person. Like I just. Yes, like just some cantankerous people. And then there I was in my peaceful dreams, not a thought of these people,
not
and just like that.
Dream, eh?
You know, not even good birthday dream. I woke up miserable, I'm not gonna lie. But however, you know, you wonderful folks always make it better. Always come in with the brightness.
Lena says happy birthday, Lena Williams.
Hey Lila, thank you so much.
Lena, you know that's Lynn Fernand's Ryan.
Yes.
Lynn
And
Valance,
where's
one good
Lynn? I know
eye.
Lynn was up and about early yesterday morning.
Yes. And Pam Hall.
You see, Gladstone matches
Lena, are you
got it
back?
right. Sweet 16. Thank you,
Yes, go right
Gladstone.
ahead.
Yes, got
Right
it
ahead,
right.
take it.
Right on the money
Right?
there.
Or is Paul 63 more a little closer?
No, no,
Paul. That's
definitely not.
Paul's name. Paul
What do you think I
63.
should be doing for this birthday? Come on, guys. Let me know.
Yes.
I really don't want to have any. I'm really not a party person. So I try my best to be as social as I possibly can, but I really am not a party person. I really don't do the high level party and like some people would do for their birthdays and stuff like that. I've never done it. I don't even know if I could if I tried.
But I don't despise it, but I never understood
Yeah.
all the partying for your birthday.
Yeah.
Like you can, partying for me entails alcohol and so on. You can throw all the alcohol in the system.
Yes.
Just in one of the
It look
most
like we
notable
added up,
days.
right?
Something wrong there, Joel.
It's not adding up to right.
Something
But people do it, Doretta looks like those Spanish women. I don't know if this is a compliment or what. How do I
Tell us, it's compliment. Tell us.
So my brother-in-law saw a picture with because my sister would send him a picture with this hair and he's like, what? It's like somebody getting a Spanish now. So I'm like,
Oh, this is Spanish here?
I don't know. Apparently it is because this is the second I'm hearing about it. Yes.
Vashti, how you guys doing on Pansy Fields? I see, is it Luann Roberts Hall and Wendy Andrews, Ingrid Crawford, Donna Williams, all those lovely people, Shelly Mosley too.
Thank you, Adam. And Shelly.
What did Adam say? Oh, Adam says Judy looks amazing.
You see?
Yeah.
The 16-year-old look. I'm gonna try to retain this. As we get older, we have to take care of ourselves better.
Vesta says you look stunning.
Oh, lovely.
He says,
thank you so much.
You look stunning.
So much, Vesta.
Yeah. Anne-Marie Roberts, good to see you.
Share to see these comments. I think you're skipping a few,
Bella Mona, I try to capture all. Don't worry. I got you today. I'm going to try to capture all. George, good to see you, George, and Karen and Pollyanna, all you folks. Good to see you guys. You know what you got to do.
I see our shirt squinting with the old age.
Yeah,
the eyes going.
I need my things.
You gotta catch it.
Going by NIS.
I was just about to say you gotta catch it with NIS.
NIS, take one.
And take see how they're dealing with your glasses.
Take my take.
But that's a
it's
whole
still 10,000.
Hey, Carl Miller, I don't know. I don't use glasses.
I took that many years ago.
10,000 they give you?
Yes, it was 10,000.
10,000 guys NIS doing that?
I don't know if they've upped it. I tell you about 20 years ago when I first had glasses.
It's supposed to be about 80,000
now. Okay, 20 years ago. Yeah, it's a little while ago though, because I remember my son, my eldest son, he was the one who stepped in my glasses and broke them. I never got black glasses.
So you had glasses prior?
Yeah.
How do you move from having glasses to not having glasses? How does that happen?
You just tell me how. You just tell me how. When it break and things tight, you can't afford it. About 60 years now, trying to afford a pair of glasses. About 60 years now.
This is not good, guys.
As soon as you think something happens.
Guys, next week is Cher's birthday. Let's get him a pair of
glasses. Body divert.
Let's get him a pair of glasses.
Look, Marilyn King says that NAS bankrupt. I didn't give it up now.
All of NIS bankrupt. I don't think they should be deducting NIS anymore. Why are we should have to give our money to this bankrupt NIS, right?
Still 10,000.
Still 10,000?
Wow.
Still 10,000 with all the inflation and everything?
Yep. And glasses, very expensive some places. Very expensive some places, 10,000.
Well, I know.
Amanda Kendall, the one who missed that, says you look stunning.
Oh, thank you, Amanda.
Right.
How are you guys doing over there? Let me know what you think I should be doing today for this birthday. How do you celebrate getting old, you know? How do you celebrate this?
Wow. Folks, as we run that and as you guys are on, that protest this morning continues down there, the office of the president. Swiss you still rumbling, rolling, going down the road. Yep. We'll talk a little bit about that this morning as well.
I was out there yesterday. I saw some
I had a fantastic time. I had a lot of energy.
I saw my photo all over the place. Even the trolls took it.
I led a protest.
Even the trolls took it. They were trying a little bit of mischief there. But I said, any publicity is good publicity. Thank you.
I was leading the protest. I led a protest.
I read that. I read that Shar Duncan led a protest.
I think they're looking for a reason to carry me up a cold step, Do what you want to do, man.
Different, right?
Do what you want to do.
Yes, but guys, it is somewhat of a good day already. And always good to be with you. Thank you so much for all the kind words and affection and all of that. I see Marlon Thomas.
I don't know if it's because Rita's getting old, but notice the tea, a little thing this morning.
What's wrong with it?
Very diabetic, yes.
Sweetness,
Diabetic, yes. You see, your memory doesn't start slipping. 1 year old.
I was thinking it may start,
1 year old
it may start to get sweeter when you get I kid you not.
Then I can use my medication. Let me kick in at the bottom there. All right.
Thank you, Pauline.
Not a year old. See that? Memory doesn't start slipping.
No, I am pretty sure that's what it is. I was coming on before he clicked go live. I'm thinking
something is missing. They disturb.
I can't remember. Good morning,
Spice
Man. Lynn Finance. Hey, Lynn, how are you doing?
Yeah. Lynn touched down.
Well, Lynn said I should go to the spa.
Yeah, we can do something.
Yeah, go to the
spa. Lynn, we can do something.
Well, I've been having some self-care days, even 2 days prior. Oh, golly God! So
no, look at the above golly God.
Oh goodness, looking sexy, nice. Yes, thank you, dear.
Sapna Maniram.
Yes. I'll take it how I get it.
That right?
Sapna Maniram.
Sapna.
You see?
That's a nice name, Sapna.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes, Naomi Drucko. Yes, Naomi. You on it.
Folks, it's the birthday girl. Right? She's a big girl now.
My big Sharon is trying to say what it is.
She's a big girl. She's a girl with things. Why I do that? She's a girl with things. Yep. So, folks, we're celebrating with Richard this morning. Say happy birthday.
Of course. And I appreciate it. I appreciate every single last.
Like fine wine, that's what they say.
That's what I'm doing. The fact that you guys got to be guessing this age, it's good. It's good. It means that you guys don't know. I don't look old.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what happens when you don't take a lot in Nigeria.
But there's one thing with looks, and then there's one thing with ability.
Hey.
The other morning I climbed over a fence.
Okay.
And I remember the Desiderato gracefully surrendered the things of you. Don't listen to the
Did you just say climb over?
I climbed over a fence.
Sharon, the trolls out there are going to be cut in there.
Yeah.
Like,
don't worry.
Climbing over a fence.
Don't worry. It wasn't a Sioux fence.
What's the Jagdeo fence?
What's the Jagdeo fence? Yeah, all right. Don't worry about that. I was climbing over a fence.
Listen. Harris made my day today with that.
Oh yes, with the caricature. We should have had it up.
We should have had that up.
Yeah.
So
Paul Harris.
Paul Harris made my day in Starbucks News today when Paul Harris had up as Sherry just
the football team.
He did a football team illustration there. And he had all the players lined off on the field. He had the referee, and he had
all the players.
He had a comment saying, I hope they play as a team. They play as a team. They work together.
Jack all over the field. He's every player.
Every position.
He's every player.
Every player. Guess who is the referee? Guess who is the referee? Come on, tell me. If Jagdio is on the field, he's playing in every.
Who's the referee?
Who's the referee, guys?
I'll give you all a hint. This person came over at his house and brought folks.
My Sharon, what type of hint is that? What type of hint is that? Oh, thank you so much, guys. I can't go through all of. I'll try my best to go through all of this. Sue, there you have it.
Sue is the referee.
Sue is the referee.
Yeah. Quite strangely, tasting this teacher a couple of years ago, I was kind of spat this out. But to tell you how my age has gone on, I kind of it didn't seem that bad.
One at the back.
No, I'm just thinking. Ordinarily, this would kind of be repulsive to me, but see, it was well get on in age. We appreciate big people things. We're moving down, folks. We're moving down the light.
Have you checked the price of sugar?
Sugar expensive, but it's true. It's true. You can't just let the tea bag soak by itself now. And the milk, if you can afford it, just let it soak by itself.
Goodness,
right?
You gotta go.
Yes, look, Dolores Dover asking us if we're looking at Grenada's election today.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
Most definitely.
Interesting.
And thank you, Alio.
Bellamona says happy birthday, beautiful queen.
Oh, thank you so much, dear.
Alio, I ain't seen you. You say boots on the ground. You said boots on the ground earlier. All right.
Alia shared is looking for you.
Yeah, it's only 11 first bell ring. Yeah. You don't know whichever one. You don't 11 first bell ring. Rashi Ford. Rashi, I was just got the eyes. Like how Rodriguez just got from the Bronx. That's the only kid that's walking Rashi. Yeah. Only emoji is just twice. You want to live like CL? Yeah, the people that had the time see when I jump in fences.
Thank you, Roxanne. Roxanne here and there's
see when I jump in fence.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
We have so much to discuss, guys. I'm gonna, like I'm saying, I highly appreciate.
Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening.
Coming in.
What's happening in the morning papers today?
We have so much going on right now. Like I just
first
said.
item, Treaty's birthday.
The first item.
Treaty celebrating a birthday.
I don't know why I'm not seeing my cursor.
Like you got the man, you got the one key. The one key. Eh? You got the one key.
Shard is gonna start it off. We've already dealt with one aspect of it, but Shard is gonna start us off right now with a morning paper.
Yeah. You know,
how else to start?
One of the things in the morning papers is the amount of illegal items they keep finding in these prison raids. Mazroni prison, for instance, recently they had a prison raid, and you would think it was at the Botheration concert, you know, because the same items. See, I know like the same people went there, what? But whole set of scissors and cell phones and you know things that should not be in a prison. I mean, like who letting these things pass? Because I don't think them boys got a ton. I hope not. You understand? It means somebody bringing in these things.
Yes.
A whole set of cell phones and improvised weapons, ganja. Mazroni prison. They did a spot check on the cells. Yeah.
Wow. A Mazroni person is just right there right there close to home there in Bartica, so it's not too far off. And I can tell you at Mazroni prisons they usually do things differently in terms of they do large scale farming and all of those things when it comes to, well, not large scale, but for a prison, they do a lot of work when it comes to farm. This has been going on for years, and I know the prisoners there would actually would be farming, and they would take their produce and bring it over to Bartica. Those prisoners that, especially those they refer to them as trustees. You know, persons that are close to being released and close to their time being up there, and otherwise to that they actually have the prisoners come over with the warden. So if persons need like to have a land cleared and those things, and they can have and pay them, their rate is lower than other rates and so forth. And when they are released from there, they actually get the money.
Okay.
Right. So cool. They do some good things. I start by that, but I get into what is being reported. You know, listen, it's saying ganja, cell phones, and unimproved weapons.
Improvised. Sorry. This side. Improvised.
I can't even see what's on my screen right now.
You see that?
Those weapons that are being found there, what I want to say about that particularly is that this is not a Mazroni prison. This is every single prison across the length and breadth of our country.
Somebody is allowing those items to go into the prisons. That's the whole thing.
Allowing it, taking it,
the prison economy.
At one point in time, I am speaking to you. I'm thinking whether or not I should say this. I'm going to say it nevertheless, right?
You took weapons in the prison.
Come on, shut up. I've never been. As persons, I've never been to the prisons, but I should, and I need to visit. However, I want to tell you guys something. When you're talking about that, I was contemplating whether or not I should, but I have to say it. So there's this story.
It's your birthday. Go right ahead.
There's this story about a prison, right? And one of the prisoners, right? This is not now. This is years ago. But one of the prisoners was sleeping with the prison officer. Wow. There was this female prison officer, and
at the prison
that was sleeping with the prisoner. Yes.
Wow. Interesting. You know where humans meet.
Listen. If those things can happen, right? I'm saying if those things can happen, then weapons can get to prison very easily. We know situations, and let me get serious on this, because I'm not even going to give any details to that particular circumstance. It's not one that I'm willing to give details to. Very, very factual story, extremely factual story. Nevertheless, when the guy came out, I think they were like in a relationship together. Yes, after. Yeah. Nevertheless, but let me tell you something. Prisoners have cell phones. They get credit probably more than me. That's a big business.
A lucrative
who can
black market.
Very, very much so. But I think that the whole system needs to be
lucrative.
Reviewed altogether.
Facebook users said the prison officer was sleeping on the job. Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it over. I was trying to think about how I can put that over, and that's the best way. Yes, I think that's the best way to put it over.
In addition to that, in the morning papers, you got the family of Quinlan Backer still protesting.
Yesterday there was protests there. Because yesterday, and I want to say this to those relatives as well, and I would have joined at it, but the two protests kind of coincided. So we had the one going on there at the office of the president, but it just goes to show the amount of issues that are happening at the same time in our country.
Lots of issues.
So many things happening.
Lots of issues going on.
It's very, very sad. But...
So, and we want to say justice for Quinlan Backers, because I don't want to conflate two issues. You would have had whether or not he was into selling guns and so on. That's one story. But to have been shot the way he was shot 5 times in the back and so on. Yeah. They got a lot of problems there. And looking to see what comes out of that, because I think they said the files with the Office of Professional Responsibility, the Guyana Police Force.
A lot of things are there.
Right? So let's see what comes out. If anything comes out, lots of stuff goes in, but let's see what comes out of that. And while we're doing that, there was a car that was left in Church Street. A lot of people got faith in the city, driven by one Lakeisha Garraway. She is Phonotech is a company. She's the administrator there. And when she went back to her car, her $600,000 was missing. Church Street. Lakeisha Garraway.
I don't know what it's like. It just so happens that I have been raised with the knowledge that when you leave me your car, you just got to hide things on your seat and put your seat in a certain way. It is the most ridiculous things that we have to do to safeguard ourselves these days.
She's wealthy. I haven't seen 600,000 in one place in a long time. So to be leaving 600,000 in a car unguarded on Church Street.
The different, right? The story different. I don't understand how that was.
600,000. Well,
I don't even leave $5,000 on a car seat.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Them boys went back for the thing. The police are said to be investigating this man. $600,000 she left in her vehicle.
Are you seeing my screen clearly?
That's 2,000 US.
What's going on? I don't know. My screen looks really dark. I don't know why. I'm trying to turn up my.
Right here. It's great here. So that happened, and she's paying a hefty cost for that. The police are investigating Lakeisha Garraway, and this $600,000 went missing from her vehicle.
Yeah. And we have to just we have to be careful. Let's start with that.
Correct.
But that's not. This is a case as like persons say when it comes to sexual abuse of women and all of those things. People say, oh, women shouldn't dress provocatively, but then men should not be provoking women. Right? And all of those things is like you want to tell people to be careful, but at the same time, people should not have to be thinking that they're just thieves around all over the place. We should have a society in which there should be some amount of safety.
Ideally.
Right? And you should be at ease in some things.
People are not concerned about that. The safety, they promise a crime prevention plan. But I guess since Sue has all the support and so on, we're gonna have Sue.
A crime prevention
plan. If Sue could put in an award for us, maybe he can take us over.
But that is something that we need to look at, because when it comes to that is something that was not time bound, was not time sensitive. A crime prevention plan.
I'm not too certain whether they said it was in the first year or so on, but it could be. It could be
it could be a campaign promise during the 2025 election campaign.
Very futuristic.
I think a lot of those things are going to come back as campaign promises.
Yeah, again. Put us back and we will.
Yes.
Give you that.
If only I get another chance.
Yes, we had good intentions of doing it.
Yes, we told you we were going to do it, but we were busy with meetings in the living rooms and so.
Yeah, we were busy with investor meetings, setting up those things. So while that's happening, folks, another issue we're following and tracking in the morning papers. Sion Russell has been charged for killing his co-worker Rohit Hansraj, who refused to drink with him. Yeah, I mean, life is like it's become so cheap in this country now, and you see it by the way people use the road, use the waterways, the way in which you have interspouse violence or, abuse on the whole, domestic violence and so on. You see it, and now in this manner, it's like life has become so cheap. So your co-worker don't want to go out and drink with you. So that's it. That's it.
Mental health is real. Mental illness is real, and I think that has been showing its face on so many different levels.
Yeah.
And also, there are just evil people out there also.
Correct.
So
like I don't understand how people just end up with certain friends. Like this. Jack Joe, for instance, is end up with a certain caliber and quality of friends.
Yeah.
Right? Now he's saying so unscrupulous and so on, but he was your friend all the time. But
His
now, like you see,
was good, a generation
right?
of
Yeah. Father, he was a good man. We know them long. But like, how really did you know him?
Very much so.
Oh, really? Did you know him? He got a set of friends in jail, just come out of jail, head into jail. I don't know, but Rohit was like that. Because Sean Russell, again, is being charged. He was a co-worker for killing Rohit Hansraj, who refused to drink with him, according to reports we have. Our thoughts and prayers go to Rohit Hansraj's family. Nonetheless, the poet says every man's death diminishes us, and certainly nobody deserves to die in this way.
There are some condolences to the relatives of the young man, and I have to say that we have to be careful as people. Be careful with your friends, be careful with the environment, your association, and people. The saying that you usually say, the whole birds of a feather flock together scenario. You have to really, if your friends are not on the same page with you when it comes to behavior, your social gatherings. And so I was just saying, I'm not really a party person. Don't really go out and party and drink and stuff like that. So I can't have friends that are pro to just want to do that all the time, because we're going to have a conflict there immediately.
You won't roll very far.
No, you wouldn't. Once in fire, I try to go out and to have some bit of fun, but I'm not that, you're not going to see me.
Moderation.
I'm not that. I'm
not protocol.
That. Yesterday I said something.
Protocol.
Yesterday I said.
Moderation. Right. You're a decent person. I was
saying, what is the other word? It's 100 strap.
100 strap. Yes. Molly done pop.
It's
right.
Crazy.
So while that's happening there, again, thoughts and prayers with Rohit Hansraj's family. A supermarket was robbed quite recently, and it says that the thieves were nabbed in the bushes, hiding from the police. And this was an interesting report we have. I want to read part of it for you. It says a 15-year-old lookout was abandoned in a car on Tuesday by his adult accomplices after police ran nixed a burglary attempt at the New Era General Supermarket, Farm East Bank, Demerara. The two accomplices, aged 20 and 25, did not get far in their attempt to escape, but were eventually captured by the ranks while hiding out in some bushes close by. According to the Ghana Police Force, ranks on the East Bank of Demerara were able to foil their burglary plans around 5 hours. The Providence Police Station reportedly received a call from an unknown person around 4:15, informing them that some thieves were breaking into the supermarket. 15 years old, 25 years old, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's where we are.
Well, I see a 15-year-old lookout, a 15-year-old lookout, people need to be jailed for trying to involve children in crime.
As his initiation.
A 15-year-old is a child.
Yeah.
And let's not get past that. A lot of people like to come and they like to put these youth in categories that they should not be placed in. Children are children. There's a reason why you separate an age and you say from XY, you're an adult and you should be acting accordingly. A 15-year-old is a child, should be in school. Adults are responsible for children. And whomever those persons are that have a 15-year-old in that scenario, these people need to be put away. They are tainting the image of our country. They are damaging the future of our country and all of those things, because you don't know how long this 15-year-old was probably being put to do certain things. And I want to, and when this story came out, one particular situation is to my memory, is that there was a little boy that went to boys' school, as we call it, went to boys' school because as a little child, because he was little, some criminal minds took him to tell him to put him through a window in a building, tell him to open the door for them to get in because they were locked out of the building. And because and they were actually going to rob the place, but they couldn't fit through the hole that they wanted him to go through. I'm saying that to say that that child went to boys' school. Many, many times we have adults abusing authority and having young people do things that they should not be doing. And they have to be punished severely for these things. We have a responsibility as adults to young people, and we continue to fail them as a society. And I have to say also, when I say we continue to fail them as a society, all together, and I've been saying this for the longest while, when it comes to crime and crime prevention and all of these things, it has to be done in a collective way. We cannot at any point in time believe that this one body is going to fix it. Where are the persons responsible for the social implications? Where are the churches? I mean, persons don't want to talk about these things. Where are the churches when it comes to mentorship and all of these things for young people? Everybody can't be silent, and I have no apology. We can't just be praying about for the goodness of the country. Action is needed on the ground with all of these things. I don't like to see any reporting of young people being in situations that they should not be. And I feel that we continue to fail the society when it comes to young people and how they should be nurtured and mentored all together. So this is very personal to me, these issues. So I can go on and on with this forever. So let us just move on.
Yep. And some things that are brewing, folks, the morning brew, some issues that are brewing internationally. Some of the pundits are saying that it looks as though
yes.
the Commonwealth Secretary General, Patricia Scotland, is going to hold on to this post for a second term. It looks that way because the pundits have been talking with heads of government and some other officials there of the Commonwealth and trying to get a feel with how they might vote. And the one report we were going through suggests that the current Commonwealth Secretary General, Baroness Scotland, is enjoying the confidence of a majority of heads of state. So we're still going to look to see how it is going, but this is what we're picking up this morning. This is what's brewing. As you know, that the meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government is happening currently in Rwanda, and Irfan Ali is there as well. Arya Ali is there as well. And this is part of the agenda, electing the next Commonwealth Secretary General. So, folks, we're going to be sharing more information as we get out of that meeting. Share the live for us for your part. Smash that emoji button, folks, and remember to partner with us because we need you. We need your support as well. We need your support as well. Again, we don't have all the facts here yet, but the pundit saying it looks as though Patricia Scotland is going to retain the post of Secretary General. Looks as though. Rita?
Well, we have been covering this for quite some time. We have been covering it for quite some time. The positions of other countries here, and the other representatives that persons are trying to make sure that they get in. But let's see how it goes. I don't want to call any position as well. But usually when this reporting comes out like this in this manner, it usually goes through to that book, to the record.
So you're stepping lightly.
I am very much stepping lightly.
You're stepping lightly
on this one. I'm stepping very lightly on it. But we did say, not because something was done, and that was the position that we took. Not because something was done a specific way for years means that people can't request for the manner to be changed. But at the end of it, let us hope that good sense prevail altogether.
Let us hope indeed.
Let us hope.
Let us hope indeed. And issues closer to home, folks, brewing in the region. For instance, we are watching. Where's Spiceman and the other folks that were asking us about Grenada? We're watching what's happening in Grenada as well, and we know there's an election that is going to happen very, very shortly. And I'm pretty impressed with this leader of the opposition. Very young man, right? Very, very young man. Seems very able, and he's been complaining with a missive that has been put out by the Parliamentary Election Office that oversees their election. This is the opposition leader there in Grenada. And according to the report we have, it says that on the eve of the general elections in Grenada, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, they're calling on the Parliamentary Elections Office to provide clarity on a media release regarding voter identification cards. In the media release that was issued yesterday, the Parliamentary Elections Office stated that the only form of identification that shall be presented on election day is the voter identification card issued by this Parliamentary Elections Office. In the letter, the Supervisor of Elections, the NDC political leader, in a letter to the Supervisor of Elections, the opposition leader, the NDC political leader, Dickon Mitchell, he writes that he believes the first paragraph of this release is misleading, as it does not make pollusively clear that a registered voter who has not been issued with an identification card retains their right to vote. So that is the clarity that Mr. Mitchell is seeking, Dickon Mitchell. That's the clarity he's seeking, that the election body should clarify. That even though you don't have the election card, you're still entitled to vote. You're still enfranchised. So we're following, folks. We're following. We found what's happening there in Grenada. The current Prime Minister, Keith Mitchell. I don't know if there are any relations, but Mitchell is going to lead the country. But Dr. Keith Mitchell, who's the current Prime Minister, there has been there for quite a long time. And even though people think he's done a fairly decent job, they're still worried that I think he's going to be 76 or 77 quite soon. He's been there for a long time, 19 plus years. They think on that basis, perhaps it's a time for a changing of the guard. So we're following that, folks. We're following that out of Grenada.
All right. So what I have to say about that is that's very important. Messaging when it comes to election and the messaging that is sent out to the population, the voting population, is extremely important. That cannot be something that you just overlook. At no point in time should you have, and I'm in agreement with this bit, I have to say, because at no point in time can you send a release and not give and not say in that very same release that if you don't have an identification card, that does not prohibit you from going to the polls and actually voting. Because I can say, even here in Guyana, there's a lot of persons, and I didn't learn this until I got actively involved in elections, some years ago. A lot of persons that did not know that they can still go and vote without an ID card. So a lot of persons' ID card was lost and all of sorts of things. A lot of mischief was done. People asking folks, the workers, to bring in their ID card for them to do something with it, and then not giving them it back until after elections day. All sorts of nonsense goes on. But people need to know, and that's why we try to do voter education as much as we possibly can. People need to know that they can go out and vote. If they don't have that, there's systems set up to provide for that if you don't have an ID card to go. So I understand this messaging is absolutely important. And when it comes to our own election, it is the same here also. You don't have to have this ID card in order to go out and vote.
Great. I see Martin Gall's comment, Rita. Martin says, blessings Sunday morning to you two hardworking folks. Keep up the amazing work. God bless both of you and your program. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Martin.
for your kind words. I was also looking at Joel Ward's comment. She says it's time for PM Mitchell to go. Kamal says happy birthday to you, Rita.
Oh, thank you so much, Kamal.
And you look fabulous.
Oh,
according to Kamal.
Yes.
You look fabulous.
Just out of 16, Kamal, about to enter this world.
Dolores Dover says the best Mitchell will win. Definitely
the best
so.
Mitchell will
Definitely. We're following that, folks, and we're going to keep you guys posted.
See. I know
on that front.
Who was the one? I'm sure it wasn't the Democratic, the National Democratic Council that our friend was rooting for. Our friend Spice Man.
It's probably the
incumbent. NNP, right?
It's the incumbent.
NNP.
So while that's happening, folks, you got some stuff happening at home. People say we're hungry bad in this country.
True, very true.
Collarbone showing, your jawbone showing, and so on. So them boys didn't understand this move that they're looking at. They said, this is a little odd. You see, Suriname set to receive a number of food items, flood relief supplies from Guyana. They say, we could use some of this right here because we're right here and punishing. So, but I understand it's a delicate balance because, we have neighbors who might be worse off than we are. And so you want to help. But then you got people here who in some real dire straits and need help but not getting it. And so when they see you're selling food next door, they tend to get a little
upset. Totally. All right. So when it comes to this, and we understand, like Sharon is rightly saying, you understand that that there is need to help when it comes to other countries, especially in neighboring countries that's in need and so forth. There are systems set up to make sure that you assist those persons. There's mechanisms in place through governance for you to assist with that. However, the failure here is that system is working, but the system at home to take care of persons at home is failing. You know, and that is the issue, right? Good that aspect of it is working. That's awesome, commendable, and all of that. But when it comes to what is going on at home and poor people starving, children on the streets every single night, knocking on car doors, asking, "Oh, auntie, uncle, we got anything to help? You know, we just want to buy something to eat. You got any food? Leave back." So that system is failing at home. And when that system is failing at home, we cannot ignore it. We have to speak about it because, as I always say, I'm always going to speak on behalf of the persons that can't speak for themselves, represent themselves. And that happens to be poor people. That is the fact at hand. Those persons that are in absolute poverty can't afford meals for themselves. So when you see a system functioning well, when it comes to us aiding your neighboring countries and stuff like that, when that system is functioning well, you wonder why don't we have the same amount of emphasis being given to the local system that should be set up to make sure that persons here at home isn't starving. And that is a fact that you're dealing with. Go to so many places. It's horrible. It's horrible in every single region. Persons are suffering. Persons are without food. Very, very sad.
People believe too that charity begins at home. You got to start here, you know, and it kind of irks people.
You have to fix home. You have to fix home first. You know, everybody say you fix your house first. That's something we grew up knowing. You know, you fix your house first. You just don't go looking out. You fix your house first. We're not fixing our house. What are we saying? You know?
Yes, and it irks people, and I understand why. You know, because you are in, you know, dire straits, as it were. Cost of living is going up. You know what's happening with inflation, the non-oil economy, and all of that. And then you see people sending food next door. People get upset.
Listen, it's a show. You know, what's my
they don't
best?
Need to show they got
no, it's my best. The best description I come. You know, sometimes there are some things people say. Like, there's a lot of people like there. I know this is a little sexist comment that you hear a lot, but a lot of times people say, "But some girls want to dress up and go out, but they're not taking care of their homes and stuff like that." It's a whole aspect of a show. You have this front, this face, you project this face as though all is well and all of that, but all is not well. You know, this is the whole thing. You don't judge a book by its cover, because if you were there in Suriname or Guyana, you would not contemplate, you would not begin to imagine that persons in Guyana are starving, because here this country is sending aid to us. Like, how do they send aid if people in Guyana are starving? And that's the fact of the matter. They're trying to pretend that it's all good and okay to the world outside, when you at home, you know, it's way different. It's way different. Unacceptable.
The other story that's brewing, folks, the Private Sector Commission says that this company here, they've been trying to flout some of the local content legislation, but the company says they've been dotting all their I's, crossing all their T's, following every known regulation and law, but yet they were not given their local content certificate. This is RAM Logistics, and you know, the folks there are notably upset. They want to know what's happening. I think they have a press conference on today because I saw part of a report which says that they said that people should know, current investors and future investors should know what is really happening in Guyana. They said some information has come to light recently, and they want to share it with the public. They want to share it with the public. So again, their local content certificate was denied. They said they have done the due diligence, went through all of the right channels, and still, I think I know what's the problem, though.
Let me tell you something. Ramps, take it, and I hope we have a representative from Ramps listening right now. Because Ramps, listen to me. We could have walked you through this step for step as to how these things go. And the fact is, and I've been saying from day one, unless you're greasing somebody's hand, unless you pay back and your cut that is given is the greatest. If you
processing fee, not greasing, right? Processing fee.
I say greasing your hand.
Consulting fee.
If you are not into that bracket, I consistently tell people, you know, we have this concept, and a lot of times people we look at the reporting when it comes to the private sector commission and all of that, and I have major issues because I consistently say that they represent the interests of a few at the very top. And when it comes to small and medium scale businesses, they shut them out. They do everything in their power to shut them out. And I'm not just talking about that body. I'm speaking about the little cabal in charge and that is spending the wealth of the country, distributing it amongst themselves. That is what has been happening for quite some time. I know Rams Logistics. I'm very, very familiar with the company because I've been following them for some time now. So I'm very familiar with the company, what they do, and all of that. The fact that they are willing to come forward and do a press conference and put this up is because they believe that they have met a dead end and there is nowhere else for them to go. But let me tell you something with this administration.
But they haven't gone to sue, so there's still capacity.
Them doing that would not change much unless they go through the channels that has been set up.
Yeah, the suits of the world.
We have a system. I'm going to release some. I have to release some names of the mechanism that has been set up. When it comes to the money market in our country, it is basically something that is completely shut off. Complete control as to who enters and who is given leverage to even have a little cut of the pie, if so much, if to put it in that way. You have persons sitting on boards and the secretary for these persons sitting on another board and some cousin on next on a different board, and they have set up such a web to secure themselves there, to make sure that the information is what it is, to make sure that nothing happens without them completely agreeing and all of those things. It is nasty as you can think about it. And Rams just so happens to think that they can go through the straight and narrow path. Yeah. Oh, these are the requirements. Check. We check off all the requirements. It doesn't work like that in Guyana. That's what we've been saying. That's the meeting. I noted that you played a clip a couple of times. Well, that is a meeting. That's what the person was saying. They came to Guyana. They were trying to get them. They were trying to check off the boxes as well. There's one box for you to check off when people are doing business in Guyana. Know somebody. That's it.
Know somebody.
That's a box. You don't
the
have
right
to
body
do anything else.
The
know
right
somebody.
Body.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Because if you know a man like Sue, he got all the support.
But they do it to make sure that there is no level playing field. They do it to make sure the playing field is what they say it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's how they do it. That's how they've been operated. And you know, God be with those persons that are at the helm of these things when the wrath of justice and all of that is to land at their door. Because how could you fathom to just basically pull food out of people's mouths on a daily basis? How do you sleep at night when you know that this is what you're doing? And I sometimes struggle to think, like, what are these people even doing? What to what end? What is the end? They have this Machiavellian personality. They can do anything to get what they want, but to what end? What is the overarching benefit of it all together?
To what end?
They get old, they die. Some of them don't even get old. Some of them get sick and die and all of that before. What is the purpose in all of that? It's just ridiculous.
More. And while that's happening, folks,
connections.
While that's happening, we got some other stuff happening as well. We have the Commissioner of Police making the wrongs again. The Commissioner of Police making the wrongs again. He says that private security firms need to integrate into communities. That's why he's saying in the news today, private security companies need to integrate into communities. And he's saying this on the basis, he said that private security is beyond standing up and guarding. He said you have to go outside of the fixed arrangement that you have and start working in communities as community leaders and talk to the youths and start integrating them and making a difference in society. Right? That's what he said.
I have a bit of difference in opinion here. I try not to I'm going to try not to be difficult on this particular point, but I must say that there is nothing out there. There's absolutely nothing out there stating that in order for private securities to be securities, they have to go through XY training. They have to be certified by this body and that body and all of that, right? So definitely not. I cannot say that persons that have absolutely no requirement and responsibility to go through training, vigorous training, especially when it comes to the fact that you have some of these securities are very, very young people, and that has, like I just said, no training in how to deal with security altogether. Going out and tell people what? What are you going out and telling young people?
There's a whole legislation.
What are you going out and tell them? Like what?
There's legislation that governs this security sector. And, quite recently you said it, that a lot of young people now getting involved in this business. And for specific reasons, I want to make money. Go ahead and make your money. But I had a neighbor who I saw was working with a security firm. And after a couple of days, I saw him with another firm, and I was inquiring, was that? He said, I started more for him.
No. I hear more for him. I hear Mr. Higgins. Let me just go. Let me say that I hear Mr.
The intention is good.
Good. I hear him on the intention, right? When it comes to the fact that so much is needed to be done out there. But to say that private security firms should go out into the communities and and deal with all of these things, no, they're not trained to do so.
It's not a responsibility either. Good corporate responsibility is important.
Good.
It's important.
Exactly. But no, you can't say that. What I would advise is that our trained police officers that we have within the system that it comes under the leadership of Mr. Higgins himself, those persons now, and they have an aspect of the police force that goes out and do outreaches as well. They need to go out and get themselves involved in the system because they are trained to do so. Not some people, you got a private, some people given license to have private security firms and they just hire a couple of persons and you send them out to tell people what, you can't.
Correct.
So I understand the intention and I have to say, the intention seems to be good, but I believe that was just jumping ahead a little too fast, and that needs to slow down. That may be doing more harm than good. So let's just slow down, regroup. The intention of persons going out into the community and speaking to young people, I get that. Let us have the Guyana police force do their job. They
Speaking of people, is one thing. Is what you're saying. That's the other thing.
What are they saying?
That's the other thing.
These persons, we can't just make these comments because I can tell you, if any private security is at my child's school talking to them about something, I'm going to have a problem because I'm going to be questioning their level of training.
But imagine if Sue owned a private security company, we come in and tell you.
Goodness. So I understand the intention. I don't want to. That's why I'm saying I don't want to. Just be attacking on this point because I get it. And I am one that I consistently say everybody have a part to play, but you cannot ask persons, especially private sector. Private sectors, we're different. Private sector is not interested in social welfare. Private sector is interested in profit motive and making a profit and all of those things. That's the just blatant fact of it. The government and whatever public institutions that have been set up that is supposed to be considerate and supposed to be looking after social welfare and those things, they are trained to do so. Let's utilize them. Let us have and again, I'm going to bring in the churches. Let the churches come in. Let Mr. Higgins go and speak to the religious leaders. I just don't want to leave it to the churches alone. Speak to the religious leaders. Let them know that they need to go into the communities and things like that. Persons that are trained to go and do these things. What is happening to the social workers and these people? Let us not ask people that has absolutely no training to go out and talk to people. End the story.
Well, that's happening, folks. The biggest issue. Again. Guyana for sale, folks. Guyana for sale, and the Sue Gate matter is not going away. How do you solve a problem like Sue? Right? Has it been found? Y'all see Sue any place, folks? Hundreds of you watching us, folks. Why don't you share the live?
Well, I saw one of the comments earlier said Susan Suriname.
Hundreds of you watching. Maybe the food going for Sue. Who knows? Make the live look good, folks. Give us a share wherever you're joining us from so that others get credible and valid information. Credible and valid information all the time, because informed citizens make informed choices, informed decisions, and that's the way we want to help others to receive this information as well. Share the live, folks, and smash that emoji button for us as you're at it. The biggest Sue. We still on Sue. Fella said Sue is missing.
We can't come off of it. You can't
Sue is
come off
missing.
of something that there is no resolution. You can't come off of something that needs an investigation and there's no investigation being done.
Yeah.
You know, we if we have to speak about this for the rest of the year, then so be it.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't come off of something that answers that have not been given. Someone come in and say that they've vindicated themselves. It's not an answer. That's not clarity.
Yeah.
That's not closure. Like,
Yeah.
in which world is that closure?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
You know?
He said he think he looks good, you know. In my weakest moments. That's the weakest moment.
Well, I was wondering if that's his weakest moment indeed. You know, I don't know. I beg to
Visitors come by your house. It's the weakest moment.
I can assure you that's not a weakest moment.
It's really one when visitors come.
I'm a little different.
When visitors come, it's
a morning program.
It's weak when visitors come, you know. But here is the old boy talking about, you know, about corrupt people, right? And we said early on in the program, it seems as though you got a certain, you know, quality of friends.
Yeah.
And you got to watch that. Here is him talking about corrupt people and about, you know, how people take advantage of you and so on. Is he friendly talking about? All right, take a listen.
The mere fact that we had to set up at the office of the president a unit to follow up on promises made to people and to resolve issues that people face across this country. We have already had on the outreaches over 5,000. I will intervene on a daily basis. The president does so, everyone, just on NIS. NIS might not be my portfolio. On people who having a whole range of other issues, public assistance. Public assistance is now my portfolio. When I go out there, I'll make sure that people who are treated unfairly in some other matter. Maybe if they have a housing application, we'd follow up. And that is from the office of the president, from a unit that we set up. That would be seen as intervention in the portfolios of other people. If a businessman come and say, I've had my thing at Go Invest for ages, I'm creating 50 jobs, and I can't get the project through. We'll find out and we'll push it along. It doesn't mean anything illegal is done or for payment. That is how we operate. The PEP is not a dodo sort of government, and aloof like the Granger government, doing one meeting for a month. Every day we're on the road, meeting people, going through solving issues all the time. That's how we operate. So in that process, will people capitalize on it? Yes, there may be a few, but do we stop giving access to people because a few corrupt and unscrupulous people try to rip off others? The answer is no. Yes, yes, Marcel.
Yeah.
First thing, you know, the very first thing I have to correct something there. The very first thing I have to correct is the very start of the video in which he was saying the mere fact that they had to set up a system of feedback at the office of the president to follow up on the way in which things were done and the requests made by people.
He set up so he could control everything.
No, I have to address what he said about creating, because that is not so. Let me tell you something. That's a blatant lie. When the coalition left office, they left in place. And then, guys, you would remember the outreaches done by the coalition when they literally took government on the road, and not just this flimsy nonsense that the current PPP administration is doing. Mm-hmm. They actually took a full body. When the outreaches were done, every single ministry was represented with a booth in these outreaches that went to the region. And that system was so uniquely set up that the feedback mechanism, the checks and balances of it was impeccable. They went there and they met that. When they left office in 2015, they had absolutely nothing like that. They went and they met that. So for him to say now that, oh, they set up this thing to make sure that they have feedback, it's no. They went and they met that, and nobody should be saying that. That's the first thing. And when it goes into the fact that that little bit of confusion, what he's talking about as he went on, and you know, I think that what depicts it best is the Harris illustration today. He's basically everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's not
confusion powder.
It's not going to function.
Confusion powder.
But you know why that is so? And I keep saying it all the time. It is necessary in his head for him to be in everything, because he knows that they have removed the technical experts, people that knows what to do, and they've put persons in these in positions that can't function in these positions. And because of that, the systems are failing. I've been saying it consistently over and over. When you take weak people and you put them in positions, they cannot deliver any results. So now everything is going to left here. He's going to be, oh, you're here, you're hammering here, you got to solve something there, you got to go nail up something there, everything at the same time, because the people that are placed there to do it can't do the job because they are not technical experts. They don't know head from toe what they should be doing.
Correct.
Right? But
correct.
that's the way they set it up, because that's the way they want it. They want it like that. It's organized chaos.
Correct. And in that clip we showed you guys, here is Mr. Jaguar talking about these corrupt, unscrupulous people. Is his friend Mr. Sui talking about? Man, he said, you know, a long time, man. I never doubted that he was my friend. I never lied to you all. Right? But it's Sui's talking about these people who pay for play. You got to pay for access and so on. Among other things, that's his friend, his neighbor. He's talking about their unscrupulous, he said corrupt people. He says a few of them. And mind you, in the I don't know, maybe our math folks here can help us out. What is the probability, you know, in this country that the man gonna be his neighbor? This unscrupulous, corrupt person is going to be his neighbor, right? This one in
his tenant,
how much ever thousand, right? That he can rent the place, an unscrupulous, corrupt individual. I mean, like, what's the probability of that, right? What is the probability of that? And he just said the man is corrupt and unscrupulous, but in the same breath, he said he's not pressing criminal charges. He says he's going to seek damages for his reputation. But I can't find my neighbor, right? Who is bringing people by my front door to see me, to make deals, right? To help you out and so on, to bring influence and so on.
Even when he's tired.
Right? Even when he's tired, let's go down and see. I peep through the window and say, "So is you are coming. Hold on. Don't let people go away. Hold on. Right? I ain't tired enough to see you. Right? I'm coming down. See, can't find you now.
See, can't evict him.
You see, can't find. Listen to this. You see, can't find
evict himself for a while.
So I can't evict you. Right?
Coming back now to what actions I'll take. I made it clear that if what Sue said in his statement was not accurate, then I'll take legal action. The people who is ripped off can take criminal action. I'm going to take reputational action. I'm going to sue him. And I made it clear, I think it was Marcel who asked me whether he'd be a tenant of mine if I find out that he's actually said some of these things. And I said, once that comes out to the contrary, no longer. And I'm looking to him to throw him out, looking for him. Can't find him so far, but as soon as I find him, this will happen. And so that is all I wanted.
Yeah. You know, I can see Jaguar walking down some streets. Y'all see Stu? I'm looking for you. I want to throw you out, you know? I ain't seen notice in the papers. I ain't seen no wanted bulletin or nothing like that. He's looking for Sue to throw him out.
Let me tell you that was the vice president clogging the nation out, basically.
Yeah.
Making a mockery of everybody that was looking for answers. That's what I was. The vice president said, "Oh, I'm looking for him to throw him out, but you know I can't find him." That is him making an ass out of everybody, right? That he's going to sit there and say something as frivolous as that because he believes, again, that people are gullible and people would not press forward if he is sarcastic in the way in which he responds. A lot of the things which he said, I always say he does a lot of psychological warfare. You know, if he believes if he's sarcastic, gives sarcastic remarks and things like that, people are going to step back and so forth. But people have to keep pressing. You know, you have to keep pressing because it's not acceptable. He would not have accepted a response like that. You know, he would have been furious if that was a response coming from anybody else, if he was pushing that mat. And in that same length and breadth, we have to do the same thing. It is not okay to come before the nation and basically say, well, this is nothing and we're not going to look at it. the eyes of the world is on Guyana, and we need to project an image that is not tainted as the one in which is being presented right now to the international community, and that's the issue. So we definitely need to continue to press at this. Answers need to be had. I think the international community needs to be doing investigations and not just a report. I mean, the report was phenomenal and all of that, but I think that there needs to be in-depth investigations coming in right about now from the international players, international community, on these matters, to see what else is out there that we have absolutely no knowledge of, things that could be very damaging.
How many people Sue bring to see him and all that, and what did they get out of it, and so on. You know, you talked earlier on about mental health, and we heard Mr. Jagdeo talking about, for instance, his reputation. He thinks he has Obama kind of reputation. Took a global hit. You know, it took a global hit.
Did say,
and he's upset, you know. So I want you to take a listen to that, and you can weigh in on the other side. His reputation took a hit.
No, but that's what I'm gonna assume.
What I wanted to know is usually in suing someone, so you have to prove that you took a hit in some way. You're political.
So your point is I'm mitigating already by saying I'm vindicated.
Do you think your reputation took a hit by this?
Well, I think, so now that you're saying that for the lawsuit purposes, yes, my reputation took a hit globally. But globally, right? But they're not Guyanese, so they may not know. And this could be like really major because it's international.
Yeah, it's a clown show. It's a clown show.
Yeah.
That look like a man who is serious to you.
Yeah.
About his reputation taking a hit. A man who's serious about anti-corruption practices and so on. He looks like he's serious to you.
I think it's disrespectful, to say the least, that a nation is looking for answers on this particular matter. And this is not and let me be very, very clear on this. This is not the opposition looking for answers. This is the country looking for answers on this particular matter. And you have investors, they've been traveling to different countries saying, come and invest in Guyana, we were inviting persons to come, and there's ramps.
Come back.
As a clear example, there's Rams Logistics. Clear example.
Yeah.
When they came, they're checking off the boxes. What is going on?
Yeah.
Companies like Rams, they're the only one willing to speak out thus far. Companies like Rams wants answers. All the companies that the doors have been shut on them. They want answers. They want to know what they've been doing wrong. They want to know if this is the way in which things are being done all the time. That's why they haven't been able to get any signature, anything signed off for them to have a go ahead on their investments and all of those things. People want to know. And that, the demeanor altogether is like, I don't care, like what you think.
You know what I took away?
As usual.
You know what I took away from that too? What I took away from that? The fact that Guyanese would have to go to a ministry and wait for hours to see people. You try to call somebody by phone, you can't reach these guys at all. Even if you have a community meeting, you stand a faster chance of being abused by them. Look at him telling Big Auntie, you're talking foolishness, you're talking nonsense. Right? You tell Big Uncle, you don't read. You need to go and read some more.
They're not used to people questioning them.
How much guy needs to go knock on your front door and say, "Oh, come inside. I can come downstairs and see you."
Yep.
Right? But they pay for player folks. Right? They pay for player folks. They get to knock on your front door and be invited inside. Right? And they don't get spoken to sternly. Right? When they talk to you about bribe, you say, "No, Sue makes all the arrangements. Sue handles all of this stuff," right? He has our full support, right? But Big Uncle and Big Auntie, who ain't got no currency, right? You're talking foolishness. Where was that in that meeting, right? Don't bring that to me. I'm not involved in that. Where is that kind of sternness when confronted with that kind of vice in our society? No, but it's the common man. Y'all want to go and rough talk to. Long time gone, short time come.
And they're going to see very much how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, informed people make informed decision. Persons are waiting and they're listening. And I want to see the next meeting that he goes to, the next public meeting that he attends, because the people will stand up and they will ask that question.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell them then?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I answered that already. I don't have time for nonsense, you know.
Come by
Is
your
that-
house.
is
You won't
that-
you
is
won't
that
act
the
like you won't act like
responses?
that is Sue. That's what they can tell them. You know, interestingly, in that interview, in that press conference, we want to call it that, something was said about the Chinese community. I thought it's very fascinating because here was a reporter asking him about the perception, if he felt
the
as though,
infighting that he spoke about.
the Chinese folks think that, you know, it's easy pickings here and we're susceptible to corruption and so on. Right? Remember, he's blaming everybody. He's blaming geopolitical forces. He blamed the opposition. He blamed people like Sarama. He blamed Isabel Young. He blamed everybody for the country that he's in. He said, don't bother with them. If they feel they got to pay people to get things done, let them make a report to the police station. Because these guys had the face covered. He said, and don't bother with them. They got a lot of infighting. They get contracts and so on. He seemed to know a lot, but, you know, unless you don't put a secret camera and so on, you don't hear what happened really in this country. Because they keep with a lot of, I don't know, and this is physical fighting or it's verbal fighting or what. But this is what he said about on that issue.
Do you think that you may have to, that the Chinese community may have a certain perception of the government that may not necessarily be accurate in a representation of what is going on? If there were these parts of the interview where you saw Chinese people, their faces were blurred, but they were giving certain information that you're saying is contrary to the reality.
Actually, if I think those people who said they had to I think the police should ask them about it. Because if they had to pay any bribe, the police should ask them about it, the ones who were saying this in the video. But I think also there's a subculture there that is, they fight each other a lot in some of these local groups. I can tell you now about 3 or 4 people who've been trying to contact my office. Remember, I told you this at the last press conference, who claim they have MOUs with Chinese companies. They're the local reps for the Chinese companies. And often they're competing for the same things. So they will then have fight and they among each other about who gets what. I've had cause to turn people away just a couple of weeks ago on another set of projects. They come here all the time. And there's a lot of locals, mainly locals. They come with people and say, can you see I have an investor from abroad? And if you don't see them, they say you don't want to reach out, you're aloof now, and all of that. If you see them, you don't know what they tell people. So I think they have a subculture there that thrives on this sort of thing.
You know, I can understand, you know, if there's some infighting there, you know, because how them themselves probably not seeing a level playing field. I mean, Sue living in the man house, you know, how do they feel that that's fair?
Correct.
You know,
correct.
So,
they want to replace Sue.
I got the line of people to replace Sue.
They want to replace Sue. They want to be the new Sues who got all the support.
But
right? I can watch Jack Your Life hours, you know.
You try it here. I struggled through the last one.
Lie after lie after lie, bluff after bluff, nervousness. You know, the first time I see the man drink tea and chase with water, you know. You know. Look at it, he know what to do with the hands. He pick up the paper, he flick something over, you know what
he was like, this is the pen.
He pick up the cup, put it down back.
The pen for me, like,
right?
The pen was
take a thing of tea, drink some water behind it, you know. It's madness, you know. Lie. Dishonest politician.
But you know, one of the things that I have to mention is that you all saw the statement basically coming out from the Chinese embassy, from the ambassador there.
It's everything perfect in the community.
Well, apparently she didn't know that there's all this infighting.
She gotta go by the house to get the real information. It's the only way to go by the house is getting the real.
She didn't know about all the infighting because she didn't speak about that. You know, she thought it was
Chinese
good.
ambassador go to the house and get the full files.
Yes.
Right?
There's a separate
Let's Sue carry on.
There's a separate
if
embassy.
You can't get in on you. Let's Sue carry on. Sue got no all the arrangements, no all the deals.
You know,
folks, we have to change our country for the better. You know, with the laughing stock with folks like this that they have, with the laughing stock, we have to change that. We got to change that. You know, the quality of leadership we offer up to this country and to the world, we got to do better than that.
I think the core issue is the lack of accountability and the lack that of the will to be accountable there, and that's what you're seeing there. An issue as grave as this one, and there's a lack of will to even pretend that you want to be accountable to the people of this country, and that's a serious issue altogether.
There's no commitments from him there, though. You see, you say, you know, I see the error of my ways now. You know, I took things for granted, but I will no longer entertain people by my house like that. You see, I gotta think about it. You know, I might got to thing.
I might gotta show you out or something.
You have put this country up on the international stage in that light, and you could be laughing through. Man, I'm looking for you, man, but I know we there. Right? And you understand why you would never get into any Nobel Prize or get into Times 100 list, because people know you.
Well, at the press conference that Rams is supposed to have, they should be asking, the reporters should be asking them if they were ever invited to an in-house meeting.
Yeah. He said, Vice News goes around and they look for corrupt third world leaders. That's very, very striking and interesting to me, and they land at your door. Right? They land at your door. Folks, that's our time for today. This is my time.
That's our time. Indeed, we love to stay here and chat
birthday
all day. We love
yeah, we got to celebrate with the birthday girl.
Day, but we can't, obviously.
We just,
you know, we
see
have
you guys
to
back at 12.
we give you a little bit, and then we come back and give a little more. We've got to make sure absence a little bit makes the heart grow fonder, as they say.
Boop, 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 boop.
Your shirt is very, very
animated.
Very animated.
Very animated.
Oh goodness. Thank you so much, guys. I've been noting all the well wishes and on all those pleasant comments there in the comment section. You are also very kind. I feel privileged to be a part of this group and this FYI family, and it's always a pleasure to be here with you. And I see Rhonda Gordon, I see Paul Passat, miserable and crazy as ever, as usual, his usual self.
Maureen Coppin, Yvonne Ramasar,
Sharon Evans there, Sean Carter, I see Ambel Clement, GT, Rude Girl, everybody in the house today.
Folks, hundreds of you watching us, and we're so grateful. Share the program. Please do that for us. Hundreds of you. Share the program. If 500 of you share it out of the just over 1,000 of you watching us, we'll go far away to getting credible and valid information out there. That's very important. Very important. Remember, we don't have NCN, nobody watching them. All the state resources, nobody watching them. DPI and newsroom and all. We don't have all that.
And it's not the people.
We depend on you.
It's not the people. There's some good people working at these places. It's not the people. Listen, big shout out to all the phenomenal, talented people at these organizations. That your talent has been extremely suppressed. We understand. Just hold the fort. Hold the fort. You're going to be able to do your work and to present the phenomenal bits of work that you were used to present. No worries. Short time left.
To people who value it. Guys, and we crave your support as well, so we can keep going. We've been in the red a little bit, and we really encourage you guys to come on board and to contribute to our program. We're totally publicly funded. That's how we stay on air doing this, folks, improving what we're doing. And so we encourage you guys to contribute to our program. We're available via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, Western Union, MoneyGram. You guys can reach us on 627-6963. That's our WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp us, and we'll be certain to give you some guidance. That's our MMG number as well, 627-6963.
Paul said to ask you for a contribution.
We need unscrupulous corrupt people. That's why we publicly funded. You see?
That is why.
You want to tell you what to say and who to talk to and so on. So, make a difference. Let it keep them.
Guys,
we good.
You do have a blessed day. I'll be off. I'll be off. I have lots to do today, but let me tell you that.
The girl got lots to do. Back to agenda.
Be sure to be back.
We'll be here.
12, and then be sure to be back again this evening at 8 p.m. Have a phenomenal day, and I'll talk to you soon.
She'll talk to you guys soon. Take it so. I tell you. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe.